Hey all, Chris Bassett here, and I've been playing Final Fantasy XI on the private server CatseyeXI. I'll be doing an intro beginner's guide, and I'm going to be sharing my experience on my Ace account. Let's get into it. So here I've opened up my browser and I'm just on the CatseyeXI homepage. Here's where you're going to download the game and then create an account. You can read about the different features and the custom content, as well as there's a link to the wiki, which has a ton of information, and you'll refer to this constantly. Under the download page, obviously you'll download the game, install the launcher. It was super easy. It basically walks you through it. I didn't have any problems. The About page makes some notes of the custom content as well as the quality of life improvements. I'd also like to shout out the CatseyeXI team. Thank you so much. I'm having a lot of fun playing on the server. Crystal Warrior is an account that's kind of like a hardcore mode, but it does come with extra cosmetics that the Ace account does not. Ace is your accelerated account. It's quality of life. It's what my guide will be based on. I'm playing the Ace because it's not as grindy as the Crystal Warrior mode. Here under the Wiki tab is all the required reading. I recommend going to the guides under the navigation table, and then you can see there's a new player guide as well as the progression guide. There's a lot of custom content, and some content varies slightly compared to retail. The next tab is the rule page. It also has approved add-ons and plugins. The support tab for if you need to file a GM support ticket. The last tab is the account tab. This is where you will create or delete your character. If you ever try to log in and you get the error message that you're still logged in, this is where you come to force your character offline to fix that. You also have access to database tools, which will allow you to look at other characters' bazaars, the weather, or monster drops. So once you got the game downloaded, launcher installed, I had a shortcut on my desktop. Go ahead and open the launcher. Now from the launcher menu, there's a few things to look at. You have a list of add-ons that you can use. I'd recommend the maps for sure, as well as just scroll through some of the options and see what could be fun. But this loads these different add-ons into the game for quality of life improvements like the mini map, different timers that track abilities, different graphics, or just improves the game. Just see what you like, try different ones, load the game and see what works. Underneath the profile option, this is where you can create a new profile as well as configure your gamepad. So if you're playing with a controller, this is how you configure those options. I play with Xbox controller. That's the pad tool. But just go ahead and create a new profile. You can enter your account name, the type of account you want, whether it's accelerated or Crystal Warrior. You want to enable your gamepad if you're playing with a controller. And then the graphics settings over here on the right, you can adjust the size of the windows and the background. So like if the lettering is too small, I'm old. So you can, adjust those sizes to make it easier to read. Also, if you're having problems moving things around, such as the minimap, run the game in windowed mode, and then you can minimize the window. If this is your very first time playing Final Fantasy XI, I did make a beginner's guide for the Horizon server, which details like controller movements, what buttons do what on the keyboard, how to operate the auction house, and how to initiate combat. So I'll put a link to that video at the end of this video. That could be helpful. So I'm going to speak to my experience creating an Ace account in Sandoria. I'll still put up information to help out those folks from Bastock and Windurst, but you won't see the background footage, so it sucks to suck. So you'll want to first go talk to any of the trial NPCs to receive your Destrier Beret, your Chocobo shirt, and your Sprout Beret. These items are amazing if you're level 30 and under. You get like regen, refresh, auto re-raise, increased skill up gains. The Sprout Beret provides a humongous experience points bonus. It's rechargeable, or it's infinite, and it recharges every 20 hours, so that's amazing. You want to click on any home point crystal you find. You unlock the ability to teleport to it for a fee. They also restore your HP and MP back to full. This will be your primary source of fast travel around the world. Survival guides will be your secondary source of fast travel. You can teleport to it for a fee. There's typically one survival guide in every zone. It seems like the main difference between home point crystals and survival guides is the locations. So dungeons will generally have survival guides, and home point crystals will be in town. All outpost warps are automatically unlocked. You just have to meet the level requirement to teleport. However, if you want to use the outpost warp in Juneau, you still need to do your supplies quests. Grab the quest from the gate guard, then head to the outpost. Here's a few handy shortcuts to help out while in town. Type /S followed by exclamation point and then the shortcuts. So let's talk about leveling now. It's called Records of Eminence. It's the best way to gain extra XP while leveling. These can be found in the Quest tab. Hit the menu button and then scroll to the second page. Try to complete all the basic tutorial quests. You'll talk to NPCs to unlock further quests. You can only activate 30 quests at a time, so if you complete a quest, you need to make sure you deactivate it and reactivate a new quest. Try to put some of the harder objectives to complete in there, like deal 50,000 points of combat damage. That takes a really long time, so you'll need to be working on that through most of your leveling process. Don't forget to select the area for combat that you're going to be fighting in. For example, if you're in East Ronfair, select that as a quest, and you'll just automatically get experience points for killing enemies in that area. You can also do the spoils quest, so when enemies drop crystals or items, you get EXP for that. So highlight those and delete what you don't need. In addition to experience points, you also gain sparks. You can then exchange that for items or equipment at these vendor locations. This is going to be the easiest way to put weapons and equipment on your character. You can also exchange the sparks for items that you can sell for gil. You can buy the Acheron shields, which is 2755 sparks, and NPC them. So you can make roughly 1.5 mil a week. You'll also earn copper vouchers, which can be traded to this NPC and then exchanged for currencies. I recommend converting it to the assault points. That way you can go purchase all sorts of gear from Urgan. You can join a unity by talking to these NPCs right nearby. Keep in mind Apuru and Sylvie are the only ones working. So let's talk about the conquest system and the points that are rewarded from that. If you're fighting in a conquest area, you want to have Signet, which you can either use the quick command or you can talk to a gate guard to have the Signet buff applied. As you defeat enemies, you earn points. You can use those points for items. You can exchange it for a couple of really good items you're looking for. The common items under the first tab, you want the Empress Band, which gives you a bonus to experience points. It's recharged every week. You can later upgrade that to an Echad ring, and I'll go over that later. But you're looking to pick that up, and more importantly, you're wanting to buy the warp ring, which is on the last page. So this is invaluable because every 10 minutes it allows you to warp to your home point. It's a great fast travel method, and since it's infinite uses, it's the best 500 points you'll ever spend. So go ahead and talk to the gate guard, apply Signet, and then head outside. Let's kill some monsters and hit at least level 10. In most hostile areas, there should be a training manual nearby. It should be displayed on the mini-map as a small book, but we'll find the training manual, and then you can select from a list of training options. These options will allow you to kill a certain type of monsters a certain amount of times, and you'll get rewarded with experience points and tabs. These tabs can be spent at these books for buffs like refresh, food, you can warp back to your home point, etc. Once you've hit level 5, you can now learn Trust Magic. Talk to these NPCs, and you'll be able to unlock your own AI party. For these beginning trusts, just trade the scroll to the NPC, go out of town, summon the trust, and then go back and talk to that same NPC. You'll get another trust. There's a ton of ways to earn trusts, from buying them from guild, doing quests, etc. There's a whole bunch of them. You start out with a limit of summoning 3, but then as you progress through Rhapsodies of Vanadil missions, you'll be able to summon up to 5. Once you hit level 10, you'll want to talk to the Shady Dealer at these locations. Go ahead and do the quest, and you can unlock the Curio Moogle. This Moogle sells food, sells ninja tools, ammunition, and more importantly, towards the bottom of scrolls, you can buy some of the best trusts in the game. Koru Moru is a red mage that refresh and hastes. You'll get Zed 2 from quests, so I wouldn't spend money on him. But the Kupofried will give you a flat experience point bonus for your party, so that's amazing. I believe after your character is a week old, you can start earning daily login points. So every day you get 200 points with an initial bonus of 500. These points can be spent on some pretty awesome items. So you want to locate the Moogle that exchanges the points in your city. For Sandaria, it's just upstairs from the Shady. He's right here. So login campaign rewards are on a rotation on CatseyeXI. I found this information under the systems in the CatseyeXI wiki, but I'm just going to go through the list real quick. You can see that they rotate every couple months, the rewards. So there's some pretty good stuff you can choose from. Anything from like mounts to weapons, to pop items, to cosmetic items. So take a look at the list, and then you can plan ahead and save your points. 1,500, transfer over to the next month. That way you could buy some pretty good stuff. Alrighty, so fast forward, you're now level 20, and you have made it to Juno. So 20 is a good level to come to Juno. That way you can get your Chocobo and your mount. So I'm going to touch on a couple items. This EXP book that's here in Lower Juno, you perform a quest. Once you unlock it, then you can use that to teleport to various XP locations around the map. It's another form of fast travel. It's pretty nice. If I remember correctly, I think you have to be so far in Chains of Promathia to be able to do this mission. And then just to the left of this is the Pink Mandy. It's another outpost warp. However, you have needed to done the supply quests to use this outpost warp NPC, but that way you don't have to go back to your home nation to outpost warp. Over to the left of the outpost warp is the Goblin. I believe after your character is 45 days old, you start accumulating points that you log in. It's 10 points a day. You can then spend those points on medicines, food. If you wait 50, you can use a special dial and then take a gamble at some really good items. This is all randomized, so it's completely luck of the draw. Some people have earned some really amazing items from using the Goblin. Head to Upper Juno, and here you'll find the Venture Gobs. They'll issue quests that reward points for items. I'm not much of a crafter, but I can speak to the Venture rewards. You can get an Echad ring, which I previously mentioned is probably the best experience point ring in the game, as well as a Treasure Hunter mask that adds +1 Treasure Hunter. So as I was saying, at level 20, you can go ahead and earn your Chocobo or your mount. So go ahead and come up to Upper Juno and then follow the steps on the wiki or on that back page. Just talk to Brutus, and then you can trade some Gospit grass. You can earn that from flies from the mountains. They're a drop, or you can buy it from the auction house. And then behind him is the mount guy, this little guy in the Chocobo costume. He'll give you a raptor after a short quest. At level 18, you can unlock your support job. This allows you to set a secondary job that's half your current job's level. It basically increases your character's power. On the CatseyeXI server, I do not believe that you can do the Rhapsody of Vana'diel. You have to do it the old-fashioned way, so you either have to head to Selbina or Mahara and complete those quests. It's generally like collect some items and give it to an NPC, and then you can set your support job. Okay, pushing forward at level 30, you can then unlock advanced jobs. You perform a quest, and then it unlocks the job. It's very retail accurate, except for Geomancer and Rune Fencer, which are unlocked by getting 6 jobs to 75 and beating Matt. Once you unlock Matt as a trust, you gain access to the Geomancer and Rune Fencer. The great thing about CatseyeXI is you can level up so quickly, it's pretty easy to play all the different jobs. While we're on the topic of Matt, he is the gatekeeper to your limit break quests. So at level 50, 55, 60, 65, and 70, you have to perform a quest for him in order to advance in levels. He's found towards the back of Relude Gardens in Juno, and once you meet the criteria, talking to him will allow you to perform that quest. So a time-saving piece of advice, if you do the Magicite mission for your nation at the same time you do the level 60 limit break quest, the locations are almost in the same spot, so you can save yourself a couple of hours by doing them at the same time. Another piece of advice that I would give is I would wait until you're level 75 before you do any of the expansions. Rise of Zilliart, Chains of Promathia, Treasures of Algotten are not level capped here. So you can go in at level 75 with a group of trusts and just chew through all the content. So you'll want to start off with your missions. Go ahead and get rank 10. At level 75, rank 10, you get special items to choose from. A defending ring, Kraken club, or a tier 3 weapon. Come to this spot in Castle Z Bailey's and talk to the point, and you'll get a choice of item. The only thing I'd mention is if you're thinking of doing anything with mythic weapons, choose that option. Otherwise, I picked the defending ring so I could get hit a little harder and not cry about it. Next, go ahead and open up Dynamis. Now that you're rank 6, you beat the Shadow Lord, go to Devoy, pay the Goblin 50k gil, and you'll gain access to Dynamis. The big difference here is there's no entry that you have to pay. It's free. The only restriction is there's an hour cooldown, so go in and farm those relics. Go ahead and complete Rise of Zilliard. Get that done, get access to Sky. Do Chains of Permathia, that way you can get access to Sea. You can finish up Treasures of Agraten and Wings of the Goddess. Rhapsodies of Vanadil, you want to power through that because you get access to some key items that help with experience points. The other DLCs we don't have access to here. Another huge milestone is get crafting to level 100. It doesn't matter what craft. Cooking is generally considered the cheapest. I think I did my cooking for 200k. I saved all my crystals while leveling, and then I NPC bought all the materials. And then you get a relic weapon for free. Head over to the CatseyeXI wiki, go to the guides, and then the new player guide. Scroll towards the section that says crafting, and then there is a detailed crafting list, lots of instructions on how to get that done. I believe it took me about 12 hours to get cooking to 100. Then you talk to this NPC by the fountain in Juneau. Give you a key item, and then just look up on the wiki whichever relic you want. Go to that location and trade the item. Well, once you're 75, you can start doing the daily gob quest. Come over here in Lower Juneau, talk to these 5 goblins, and they will each offer you a quest. It's generally like go to an area, find a chest, kill X amount of monsters in this location, craft an item and sign it, kill a notorious monster, and then bring me a item. Completing these quests do 2 things. One, it rewards you with obsidian shards, which the goblin at the end, you can trade the obsidian shards for pop items, really powerful armor, mounts, trusts, etc. And secondly, it allows you access to Domain Invasion. You complete at least 2 quests, you gain access to Domain Invasion. That's an area that you warp to, you fight a giant monster with a bunch of other players, and that rewards you currency to buy weapons, items, and then an upgrade system where you can then build weapons and unlock the most powerful weapon skills in the game. So in Lower Juneau, just come over here, run up these stairs, and talk to the Spicy Traveler. He'll warp you to Domain Invasion. One thing to note is the more quests you complete, the stronger you will be inside this arena. So if you only do 2, you'll probably get killed pretty quick, but if you complete all 5 quests, you'll be pretty powerful. Alright, so you want to spend all the points you've earned in Domain Invasion, head up to Upper Juneau, and come around to the auction house, and the Domain Invasion guy is standing on the steps. He'll sell weapons and items with those points, but more importantly, you can then purchase the Aeonic weapon skills from him. You'll need 300k Conquest points, 50k Domain Invasion points, Infinity Cores, plus some other items. Each weapon skill has its own requirements. And once again, a lot of this information can be found on the wiki. So come over to the guide, scroll over to the content progression guide, go ahead and highlight that, and that will run down a lot of the mid to end game progression systems. Any of these links you can click on, read all this information, it's super interesting. And then all the way at the bottom, it has a chart, and you can follow this chart for getting a lot of things done. Hey, check out another video over here. I've got Amazon links down in the description for discount electronics. Check out those links. No extra cost. You can help support the channel. I really appreciate it. Any other questions or comments, put below. Thanks.